Hi, I'm Cheyenne Abolt of Abolt Process Service, and I'd like to thank you for joining us in this week's look into the process service industry. This week, our topic of interest is social media and the effect it's having on service of process. Social media are online social networking sites that you may already have come across, sites like Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and LinkedIn. As these social media sites are increasing in their popularity, thus is the idea of using them for service of process. Most recently, a British High Court allowed for service of process via Twitter on an anonymous user who was impersonating a very well-known blogger there. This user was accused of violating copyright via Twitter, and therefore, because they could not track him down, he was impersonating someone, they served the injunction on him on Twitter. This is the first time that Twitter was used to serve a court order. However, it's not the first time that social media has been used in service of process. Last year, an Australian court allowed service of process on a couple for their foreclosure lien notice. This was after numerous failed attempts to contact them both in person and by email. So what impact does this have on process servers and service of process? Well, the UK has always had a rule of allowing things like injunctions to be served by electronic means. This includes email, facsimile, and other sort of electronics. So Twitter is but mere an extension of that. And in that particular case, it was proved that that is his main method of communication and therefore probably the most appropriate. We have a similar thing in the U.S. here where we allow all non-initial documents to be served, or most non-initial documents to be served by electronic means as well. It is not uncommon for an attorney in the U.S. to simply email or fax over a copy of their pleadings to the opposing counsel. Now, with respect to the Australian case, this is a little bit different because this was an initial pleading. Now, we have a similar thing in the United States that would also have honored this. If you can prove that after numerous attempts to contact the individual by in person, by any means possible, that you would there be able to serve them by what we call service by publication. Now, service by publication allows for the notice to be put in a local newspaper. Well, it would almost seem more appropriate that if you knew a couple was internet savvy and that they were using Facebook, that it would be more inclined for them to see their notice of pending proceedings on Facebook rather than just some local newspaper in their area. Now, why is this bad? Well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, the Twitter case itself explains why this is bad. That online, it is very easy to impersonate almost any individual. So how do we know that the person that we are allegedly serving is the real individual that we're claiming to want to serve? The second problem that I see in this is process servers who specialize in dodgers or hard-to-find individuals. As alternate methods of service of process become more widely known, accepted, and used, these process servers' jobs will become obsolete. So on behalf of Abolt Process Service, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this week's look into the process service industry and hope to see you again next week.